I am Captain Spawn, and this is day 363 of Spawn Year. I look at the cover of today's issue, and I hope with all my being that isn't me sometime in the next 3 days. I have been on edge all week, trying to focus on these reviews and to keep myself alert for any last-minute trickery as I inch ever closer to my final moments in my year-long personal hell. But I've also been devoting some time to keeping up my personal combat training, as I am certain all this emissary of coke business must finally play out at some point, and I really expected that would happen by now. Defeating that opponent in battle is my second paramount concern. If I am rendered inert before completing that last entry, all my efforts will have been for nothing. Perhaps Spawn Year is saving that battle as my ultimate test, a race against the clock on the last day to see if I can compose my final entry before the main event. In any case, I am ignoring the relentlessly slow passing of the days, concentrating all my energy on finishing each entry as soon as I am able from the moment I find the day's subject in the garbage can, and honing my physical prowess and playing through my battle strategies mentally the rest of the time. As I await my sworn enemy, Spawns and Clowns has, at last, caught up to them by the end of this issue, after learning everything he can about them from the guy with the dogs, who Clown strong-armed into working for him a while back. In that issue, the dogs represented obedience. That demon man did what Clown said because Clown would have put him down otherwise. He was his lapdog. Here, through that not-so-subtle metaphor, the difference between obedience and loyalty is highlighted. One can be gained by force, but the other must be earned. Clown's servant wasn't loyal to him, and Malbolgia kills him, yet he wants revenge on Clown for his betrayal, expecting loyalty, and I'm not sure the arrangement he always had with his subjects is any different from the one I have with Tiny Adam West. The man with the biggest gun makes the rules. So while there's an attempt here at exploring the ideas of loyalty and betrayal, even going so far as to having the conservative talking head talking about Jim's attempt at gaining the public's trust while obviously hiding something, it's a pretty surface dissection, since all these characters are trying to control one another and none of them are especially subtle in their duplicity. Most of this issue involves the world reacting to Jim's miracle survival of gunshot wounds to the chest. Jim assumes he survived this because he can heal himself just as he's been healing everyone else. Jim and Twitch meet later, and Twitch reveals what he discovered about his fingerprints. Unfortunately, it seems Jim doesn't remember any of the flashback from last issue, making it really arbitrary that we got it there as opposed to any other time. It isn't as if events are only ever non-linear when there's some story device to account for it, so it appears I'll have to watch Jim continue to reach for answers I have already, at least for the next couple of days. I will praise Carlton for at least embedding a big question here he didn't totally answer in the flashback, providing there really is more to Jim's Patient 47 experiment than met the eye. Twitch postulates that Jim may be a patchwork amalgam of 10 different men, since the men whose fingerprints he found all died well before Jim woke up. But now I've seen Jim fully whole and running a creepy super soldier project in the past, so something isn't adding up. And call me gullible, but I'm a little intrigued to know how all that comes together. Though if Jim had 10 different fingers from 10 different men, wouldn't his hands look bizarre and disproportionate? And if that's not the case, how does he have 10 different fingerprints? This issue is mostly the immediate aftermath of the shooting and setup for the big Bulgy confrontation, but I thought this one moved at a more reasonable pace than they have been, and I appreciate that characters' actions rather than long-winded explanations are driving the scenes more often. With my luck, Carlton will find some way to stall the narrative and the Bulgy confrontation won't even happen until 225, but it'll be hard to find it in myself to be disappointed with only 48 hours left in this place tomorrow. Just 2 days now, dear reader. Just 2 days. Signed, Captain Spawn.